and how do we use the statements in the Visual Basic, like every other programming language, where we discuss about the operators, different kind of statements, if else statement, like that, control structures, everything we'll discuss in the first chapter, as part of the first chapter. And in the second chapter we will discuss about the Windows forms. So we will get introduced to the Windows forms. How does the Windows forms will be, what are the controls involved in the Windows forms. And after that we will have different controls. Each control will be discussed here. Windows forms controls one, in this each control will be discussed. Okay. And after that, Windows forms controls 2. Here controls advanced version of controls, like not here and all. In the Windows forms control 1 we have discussed the basic controls, and here Windows forms control 2 we will discuss about the little more advanced controls. Here you can see the simple button control will be used. How, when what happens to a button, text box control. But here strip, tool strip control, menu strip control, how a menu will be constructed. Look at this PPT. Here there are menus here. How these menus can be designed, like that we will discuss about Windows forms controls, the strips, tool strip controls, menu strip controls, etc. Okay, in Unit 2, we'll discuss about the C Sharp programming, Visual Basic C Sharp. It is an important programming language for the development of the web applications. Okay, C Sharp will be considered, is considered as the important programming language for developing the web applications using the .NET. Okay, next, we will discuss part of the Unit 2, object oriented programming only, and after that errors and exception handling. These are the concepts which you are very familiar with the Java programming. Okay. Next comes the third unit. We will discuss about the ASP.NET Standard Controls. This is also one of the important programming language for developing the web applications using .NET. Okay, here there are different varieties of controls. Standard controls are there, navigation controls are there, validation controls are there, login controls are there. These are the different controls using which you can directly develop a website. No, website applications. You can develop them. Okay, in the Unit 4, will discuss about database controls. So ADO.NET will discuss. In the database controls, we will know how should we bind the data, how the data source controls will be used, how the data binding controls will be used. We'll discuss about database controls. Okay, using the database controls, we are able to access the database in our web page, the web page that we are going to develop. Okay, the last one is the master pages. Fifth unit will be about the master pages and themes. And the master pages and themes and the caching in ASP.NET, this is and all. Here we will discuss about how do we cache, how do you maintain the web application using certain themes. Okay, what are the styles you will apply to your web pages and all, we'll discuss in the Unit 5. How do you cache the data. Okay, so this is and all the syllabus of the .NET programming, and these are the books. Prescribed book for our syllabus is Vikas Gupta Comdex for .NET 4.5 programming course kit. This Comdex .NET course kit will be there. It will be available in various versions. 4.5 is our prescribed book, and the publisher is Dream Press, and the released year is in the year 2014. So this is our prescribed book. Other than this, if you want to follow, you can follow. But usually this is our prescribed textbook for the syllabus. Okay. Next, the reference book. This is the reference book. Uh, Cogent Learning Solutions, ASP.NET Black Book, or Visual Basic 2010 Programming Black Book. Usually you will simply say Black Book for .NET Programming. If it is available, you can also refer to that. No problem. Anything you can use. Okay. Next, you are not supposed to press any of the buttons. As I said, you should not press the sharing button, end call button. You just join the meeting and start attending the meeting. That's all. Don't press this or that button. Just attend the class. Okay. Now let us go. The agenda for today's. Today we'll have the introduction about the .NET and what is .NET and what is the Visual Studio. I'll give you a tour to the Visual Studio. What are the controls? How the Visual Studio will be, and we'll design a sample web form. No, sorry, a sample form using the Visual Studio. Okay, so let us move on to the concept first. First one is introduction. Okay, .NET framework. Usually, .NET framework is one of the most widely used software development environment or software. It is a software that we use to develop the applications. Using the .NET, you can develop varieties of applications. You can develop a console application. You can develop a web application. You can develop varieties of applications using the .NET. So before and all, you may ask me, there are many other programming language. Why are we going to .NET framework? Why only .NET framework? See, .NET framework. Let me discuss. Let me tell you about why it is called a framework. What is .NET framework? Why are we calling it is only as .NET framework and all in the next class? First, let us get introduced to the uh, .NET subject. Okay, it is one of the most widely used, we are saying, in the entire programming world. .NET is one of the most widely used. Usually people get attracted to the easiest things, right? .NET is also one of the things like that. It is easy to develop, it is easy to accustom, you will get used to it easily. Once you know how to develop applications using .NET program or .NET framework, you will be relieved. You will not be, you need not to worry that I don't know how to I don't know how to write a program, I don't know, I'm not a good programmer, I don't know the logic and all. You need not to worry. Using .NET framework, everything will be set, it will be available there. You have to make use of the available things, then you will become a programmer in the .NET. So that is the facility .NET has given to all of us. So that is why it has become the most widely used software in today's programming world. Okay, .NET framework is the easiest framework that can be used to develop web applications, or normal desktop applications can also be published using the .NET. Okay, you can make your projects using the .NET. Once you go to final semester, when you are supposed to develop or develop a project, or when you have to do a project, then .NET can be selected. Okay, it is the easiest thing to develop any kind of application. Okay, it was basically introduced by Microsoft. .NET was introduced by the Microsoft Corporation. Before and all, there were many different programming languages for the development of the applications, varieties of applications. But there is a difference between those programming languages and the .NET programming language. Using .NET, you can develop uh, an application in one language can be converted into an application in the other language, which we will call it as integration. Different languages were there, but those different languages will have different execution environments. Why different languages, different execution environment, which is a little difficult for you to understand maybe. Data integration means combining. For example, if you have written a code using the Visual Basic, it requires a different environment than the code that is written in C++ to be executed. Isn't it? If a code is written in C++, C++ code needs the C++ concern software to execute that. Or C and C++ compatible. Whereas Java is a different kind of thing. Like different programming languages, execution should be done in different platforms, we can say, different environments. Whereas in .NET, you need not to feel like that. A program written in one language can be interpreted in another language. Okay, so before, different programming languages, different execution environments were there. But with the .NET framework, there is no problem like that. The Microsoft has provided a single platform for developing the applications and executing the applications. So these are the different programming languages: Visual Basic, Visual C Sharp, Visual C++, Visual. So these are the different programming languages. Basically, these three languages we are going to discuss. Okay, these three, the code written in one language can be executed in another language. This we call as integration. Written in one language can be used by or implemented in another language. VB can be implemented in C sharp, whereas C sharp can be implemented in Visual C++, because all these three are part of the .NET framework. This is what we say. One umbrella under which three different languages are there. So one can be interpreted in another one. Okay. And if you want to use the .NET framework, what do you need is Visual Studio. Okay. If you have Visual Studio, then you can execute or any the so-called three languages we have here. These three languages can be implemented only when you have Visual Studio. Okay, to use features of .NET framework, the Microsoft, as we have already known, the Microsoft Corporation has developed the .NET framework, and the .NET framework can be executed using the software called Visual Studio. If you have Visual Studio, you can execute any kind of all these three kind of programs. All these three kinds of applications can be executed using the Visual Studio. Okay, so this particular Visual Studio provides a comprehensive and integrated environment. Comprehensive and integrated. Comprehensive in the sense different varieties can be are available in one particular framework. Whereas integrated, one can be translated to transform to another one. So there can be combined, which means integration means different language or different language developed applications can be combined in one particular environment. So that comprehensiveness and integration is provided through this Visual Studio. It provides an environment for the comprehensive and integrated programs. Okay, so it provides comprehensive and integrated environment for developing applications that use the features and services provided by the .NET framework. Okay, next, using the Visual Studio, you can develop your application very easily. It is easier thing to develop an application using the Visual Studio. And .NET gave a new dimensions to application development. Because of this Visual Studio, .NET has given very new dimensions for the application development. What are those dimensions? We will learn them. What are different dimensions are there using which you can using Visual Studio you can develop the applications. Okay, next, what are the benefits of the Visual Studio? Visual Studio has got many benefits like consistent programming model. What do you mean by consistent programming model? Next, cross platform support. Next, language interoperability, automatic management of resources, and ease of deployment. Okay, what do you mean by consistent programming model? A consistent programming model is nothing but it provides the .NET framework provides the consistent object-oriented programming model across the all varieties of programming languages we are going to discuss. So as we have seen in the previous slide, Visual Basic, C Sharp, and what else is there? Visual C++. Okay, all these three varieties are consistently contains the object oriented programming model. That is why one can be converted into another one. There is an integration. So all the three things, three varieties of languages we have mentioned earlier will have the object oriented programming model. Okay, you can connect and retrieve the data from the databases. You can also read and write files because of this object oriented programming. Okay, next one is cross platform support. Cross platform support is uh, usually this .NET framework will have a CLR. Anyone has any idea about what is this CLR? You can answer me. There is a thing called Common Language Runtime. Okay, there is a thing called Common Language Runtime. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Divya, can you hear me? Nod your head. Shake your head, Divya. Okay, let me continue. Okay, cross-platform support means there is a thing called Common Language Runtime. In the next class, I'll discuss about the .NET framework. At that time, I'll discuss about what is this CLR. There is a Common Language Runtime. It will support whatever the .NET application is, the interoperability. Cross-platform support means from Visual Basic to Visual C Sharp, from Visual C Sharp to Visual C++, like different platforms. As I said, three different programming languages are there. Three different programming languages are interconnected. Like the interoperability between these three languages is supported because of this cross-platform support feature. So this is another feature, another benefit. This can be enabled by the common language runtime. Okay, so uh, cross-platform support. I'm sorry, cross-platform support is nothing but different operating systems can be supported by the .NET programming languages. Okay, next one is language interoperability, which means that priorly, as I said, different languages can be converted to supported integrated. The integration can be provided by the language interoperability, which means that a piece of code written in one language can be used in another language. If you have written a plus plus, that can be implemented in C sharp. Sorry, Visual C++, not simple C++. Okay. So whereas cross-platform support is nothing but platform, different operating systems, multiple Windows operating systems can be interoperable. It can be supported by multiple Windows operating systems will be supported by the .NET framework, which means you can use .NET application in any of the Windows operating systems. There is no the thing called you will be restricted to use one particular in Windows operating system. Any Windows operating system can be supported. That is what called cross-platform support. Language interoperability, in any language you can convert. The code written in Visual C++ can be converted into Visual Basic also. Okay. Next, automatic management of resources. Here also, a thing called if a specific memory is said to be, for example, like we are creating variables of different data types, right? If a particular memory is wasted by one variable, that will be utilized by another variable. That is what we called garbage collector. The garbage collector will be there, which will manages the allocation and releases of memory. As I said, if I say uh, a particular variable occupies 4 bytes of memory, and usually in our program we are not using the entire 4 bytes of memory, only 2 bytes we are using. The remaining 2 bytes will be free. That 2 bytes of memory will not be wasted, it will be reused. Whatever the waste of memory, that waste of memory is collected by the thing called garbage collector, and it will utilize it for another memory reference. Okay, so automatic management of resources is nothing but the garbage collector collects the memory. Where does this garbage collector resides? This garbage collector is again resides in the CLR, common language runtime. This common language runtime uses the memory that is wasted for other memory references. Okay, so if there are some variables we have mentioned in our program and we are not using those variables, what happens? Once a variable is created, automatically the memory for that variable will be created. If that memory is not used, then that is a waste of memory. That particular waste of memory will be used by this automatic memory management. And this automatic memory management is done by the CLR, and that in that CLR there is a thing called garbage collector. Let me write here, garbage collector. What does this garbage collector do? It will collect all the unused memory and reuse it. So this garbage collector plays an important role for the automatic management of resources. Okay, next, ease of deployment is nothing but if a developed application, you have to deploy it, isn't it? Execution of the application, you can say. So in like unlike another in other languages, using the .NET you can easily deploy your applications. You can install the application that you have developed using the .NET framework. You need not to worry because the .NET provides the ease of deployment of your application. You can easily install your application that you have developed in any of the computers. Okay. So before that, as we have seen in our agenda, we are going to know what is .NET and the introduction to .NET. And as I said, there is a third component called a tour to Visual Studio. Let me give you that tour. Until here, are you all able to understand me? Did you follow me? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Let me start another window. Do you see my screen? Do you see my
Yes,
screen?
ma'am.
Okay. What does the screen contain? Visual Studio 2010. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen. This is Visual Studio 2010. The prescribed software for us is Visual Studio 2012. But since our computer systems may not support all the updated versions of Visual Studio, so in my computer it can support only Visual Studio 2010. That is why I've installed Visual Studio 2010. Okay, here in the Visual Studio 2010, as soon as you install a Visual Studio and open the Visual Studio, this is the window that is appeared for any Visual Studio application. Let me tell you what are the applications, what are the things that are involved in the Visual Studio. Okay, so this is the Visual Studio. Here, these are the recent projects that we have developed, and here, see, since it is a Microsoft developed application, like you know about Microsoft Office tools, like that only we will have the menus. This is the file menu, edit menu, view menu, debug menu. Like that we'll have menu, and it is the graphical user interface, GUI interface. which will be easier for a user to interact with. That is why it is a popular language in the world. Okay. So what am I doing here? I'm going to start a new project. Every time you should start a new project. Okay. I'm going to the file, click on file, click on new, and from the new, I'm selecting the project. See what happens when I say I'm starting a new project. It is taking a little time. See, a new project will contain this kind of dialog box. It will ask me, in which language do you want to develop the application? See here in the left side, install templates are Visual Studio, some other languages, Visual C++, Visual F Sharp. Okay. What are the things that are contained in my Visual Basic software 2010 that are available? While installing whatever the languages that I have selected, those are displayed here. In these different varieties of applications we can develop, I said. So what we are doing is we are selecting out of all these, we are selecting Visual Basic. In this Visual Basic, I am selecting Windows. Dear students, you have to understand it clearly. If you do not understand, you can raise a question at the end of the session. I want every one of you to follow it thoroughly. Okay, Visual Basic Windows I am selecting. Here I am selecting what kind of application I want to select. Windows Form application, WPF application or console application, what you want to develop. So I am selecting the Windows Forms application. First let us learn what is it. Usually console application can also be developed like a C program or C++ program. You have to write some code here using which you can run the application. But anyway, we are developing Windows Form application first for our knowledge. As this is the first class for us, let us develop a simple application, Windows Form application. And here I want to, you have to name the application. So what do I do? Sample for MSC. I have named the application sample for MSC. And here the location, where do you want to develop, store the application. So I have given my E drive, Jaya.net and Applica. Here my application will be stored. Okay. Okay. I'm clicking. Now the application with my name, with the given name will be created. It will take little time because my computer is loaded fully
Madam,
with many
madam, my
softwares.
display
It is
కనపడట్లేదు
taking time.
madam.
So you can see there is a solution explorer. One by one it is loaded.
Ma'am,
Madam,
Last year you're trying to say something.
madam,
మీ డిస్ప్లే కనిపించట్లేదు మ్యామ్.
ma'am,
You cannot see the display.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్. ఓకే మ్యామ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Can you see now, Lasya?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
Lasya, can you see the display now?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్. హలో.
Put your mic on, Lasya.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
You cannot see the display now.
We can మ్యామ్.
ma'am,
Yes, you can see. Okay, Lakshmi, you can see. If you cannot see, you can immediately tell me if you cannot see. Okay. So this is the form we will be directed to once you have created an application called Sample for MSc. You can see in the title bar. My application name is Sample for MSc and I have created an application. So this is the form. In this form, we will have the toolbox here. This toolbox contains what and all the tools we need for our application. So in our application, whatever the tools we need, those tools are available here. See, These are the tools. All window forms, common controls, varieties of controls, container controls, menus toolbars, data toolbar, data controls, component controls, printing controls, dialogues controls, WPF interoperability, reporting, visual basic power packs. Like this, these are the different types of controls we have contained. So this is the menu. This contains the file, which will contain when you want to open a new file, when you want to create a new file, when you want to open an existing file, if you want to add a new project to the existing project and all, you can use. If you want to close the solution, if you want to close, if you want to say blah, 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 like all the other Microsoft products, this product also has the same menu things. And here, edit, like all the other forms, Microsoft softwares, it also contains redo, undo, etc., etc., cut, copy, paste. And here you will see if you cannot see, if you want to see a particular window, you can go to the view field and code window, designer window. This is actually the designer window. You can see form 1 VB design. So this is a design window which will be displayed here, designer. If you want to see solution explorer, you can see. Anyway, this is the solution explorer which contains what is the solution we are working with. Right now we are working with the solution called sample for MSc. So this is the name I have given for my solution. The files that are allocated for solution all are available here. Okay. Right now until here is enough for you. In the next class we'll go in detail. These three are the things you need to know. Okay. So this is the debug. Once you have constructed the application, you have to start debugging. Okay, nothing but executing your application. Okay, students, let us start. So this is the form actually. This form has a name called form 1. If you want to rename this form, you can go to the properties window. This is the properties window. In this properties window, there are many properties that are available for the form will be available. So this is the first one. My system got slow because of, as I said, too many applications. I have to clean it. Okay. For one thing, I'm going to tell you, this is the form application. In this form application, if you want to name the form, you have to go to the text property of it. See, I'm just going to the searching for the text property. See, this is the text property. By default, for any control, text property will be selected. So I'm going here and type it hello. That form name is hello. You can see my form is renamed as hello. Now what we will do is we will drag and drop a simple control. We'll drag and drop a simple control and we will apply few changes to the control. Again, Sajida, you cannot see. I can't hear you. Lasya, I cannot hear you. I don't know what is the problem with you guys. I cannot hear any one of you.
Ma'am,
Okay? I have my
మ్యామ్
headset on.
కనిపించట్లేదు మ్యామ్.
Okay, anyway, let us, what do we do? Let us take a button, drag and drop it. So this is the button control. Okay? I have taken a button and dragged and dropped it on my form. Okay? After dragging and dropping, I should apply some changes to the button. Isn't it? So let us do a simple thing called button 1. So this button 1 can be named as click me. So when you click, something has to take place. Let us just run it and see. See, I have run it. See, I'm just clicking it, the operation is taking place. Now what will I do? I just closed it and I'm going to write some code over it. In order to write a code on the button, I have to double click it. When I double clicked it, it will be directed to a new page called another page. Tab will be opened here. See, this is the thing. What will I do? As soon as I click, see, me dot. These are the different methods that are available. Me is nothing but for the button I am directing to do some action. Me dot. So as I said, this micro Visual Studio, as soon as you start giving some instruction to it, it automatically display a list of properties it contains. So what am I doing? Me dot close method I am applying, which means, see, you can see here button underscore click. This button click is an event which contains, as soon as it contains the button click event. As soon as I click on the button, an event should take place, and that event should take place, and it should enable the event to be performed. So I run this application, and when I click this, what happens? The application is closed. How it is done? I told the button, as soon as I click, you have to close the button. You have to close the button, along with that you have to close the form. Let us check again. I clicked it, and when I clicked the button, the application is closed. Before that, what I did, when I run the application, I closed the application by myself, going and pressing this. Let us just see again. Now what will I do? In order to exit from the execution, I just clicked on it and I came out. But here, when I use the button, I need not to use any of the into buttons. I'll just click on click me, and I'm exiting from the execution to the designing mode. Do you understand this? This is a simple program for the button. So what happens? Let us do one more thing. Let us go to the toolbox. Let us insert another button here. I'm going to the toolbox. Again, I'm dragging and dropping another button here. See, you can enlarge this form as far as you want. So button 2, what will I do? Whenever I click on button 1, the form is closing. So let us change this code. I'm making the, see, what I did is, students, I just double clicked this and I'm directed to the code window. In the code window, whatever the actions, if I want to tell some action to be performed, those actions should be displayed in the code window. So what will I do here? I will say button 1 dot visible. Visible property is nothing but is equal to true or false. Visible is to be displaying. Okay. So for button 1 click, I have made the button 1 visibility false, which means that it should not be displayed at the runtime. Okay. Now button 2 dot visible is equal to true. So now let us just run it and see. This is the code I have written. I have button 1 and button 2. So what happens? Button 2, no action is taking place. But as soon as I clicked on button 1 is hiding itself. Just see it again. Button 1. When I clicked on button 2, nothing is happening. But when I clicked on button 1, it is hiding itself. No more button you can see here. Hiding itself in the sense it is going to be invisible. It is not displayed. So like that, button 1 is made invisible, whereas button 2 is made visible. So that is what we have done through the coding part. So here what we did, button 1 dot visible. And here you see students, button 1 dot click. This is the event that we are going to perform. This is the event that we are going to perform on the forms or the controls that we are using here. In the control, this is the predefined code. You need not to worry about this code and all. See, form 1 load, form itself has contained some code. It has some events, it has some methods, it has some properties. Those methods, properties, events can be executed or invoked by you. Where what I did, for the button 1, I have button 1 click. Likewise, button 2 also has got some event. So now what will I do? When I click on button 2, it should be button 2 dot click. Sorry, button 2 dot, you can say me dot close. I'm telling the button 2 to be closed as soon as button 2 is clicked. So now what I do, what I did, button 1 is made false, button 2 is made true, which means that the visibility of button 1 is made false as soon as you click it. Remember this, button 1, as soon as you click button 1, it should be made invisible. It should be hidden. Whereas when I click on button 2, it should be there. Before I made it available, but here what I wrote another code for button 2 telling it to be closed. As soon as I click on button 2, the form should be closed. So remember these two events and let us see whether these things are applied or not. Now this is the button 1. I clicked on button 1. It is made invisible. It is disappeared. When I clicked on button 2, it is exited from the execution window. Do you understand? I think this much is enough. Until now, many of you will be, oh, you cannot see the font size. Gayatri. Okay, you want the screen. I think many of your mics are not working. I'm trying to enlarge this. Wait a minute. See, I have to increase the font size. See, what I'm seeing, what I'm trying to do, you just see and understand. I'm going to increase the font size to 16. Can you see the click me? Again here also, I'll increase the size, font size. 16 again. Can you see it? Click me and button 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can see. Now again, I should run it. I'll run it and show. It is showing some error. Let me just save it and show. And my question to all of you, yes, every form and every button has its own properties. Form has its own properties. Button has its own properties. Srilata. My question to you is, how do you zoom the particular window? Can anyone tell me? If someone of you are asking me to please enlarge it and show us, we cannot see it. Yes, last year we have to change the text in the properties that we have done already. Suresh, you are ordering me to zoom the screen. How do we do that? Can you please tell me? Any answers? How do we zoom the screen?
మేడం మిమ్మల్ని కాదు మమ్మల్ని జూమ్ చేసుకుని
No
చూడమని
answers for
చెప్తున్నాడు
me.
మేడం
You just see it. Access is denied. It is holding me.
మేడం మిమ్మల్ని కాదు
మ్యామ్ మిమ్మల్ని కాదు మ్యామ్.
మేడం ఎంసీ
Okay.
వర్క్ అవట్లేదు
Anything else?
అనుకుంటా.
That's the end of today's session. On last try, we will make it. We have already run this application. If it is not letting us in, we'll create a new project. Go to File, select a new project. Okay, we have selected a new project. In this, Visuals Basic, Windows Form Application, and here we will write sample MSC2. Okay. Now you say a new form will be added to me. So in this form, what we will do, we will add a label. We'll select the label control. Okay. You just write the text, go to the text control and write hello all. And what will I do? For the hello all, as you said, you cannot see me, you cannot see the text here. I will make it visible to you by selecting the font to 18. Hello all. And here we will try to change the color. We'll go to the font color, font, and we changed this. And here we will change the 4 color of the control. Here you can see the 4 color property. Here whatever the color that is available, you can apply here. So out of all the colors, this is the color that is more appropriate for the screen right now. And here rather than 18 point, let me just increase it to 24. That will be more better. Okay, let us run and see the application. So hello all. What I have done, I have just changed I've dragged and dropped the control, and I have what control? Label control, and I have changed the color of the control. And let us see. Let us add a button here. I am dragging and dropping a button. In this Windows forms, in this Microsoft Visual Studio, every control should be selected from the text box. From there, you have to drag and drop. Just to select the control and just drag it here. That's all. And it will be pasted. Okay, you have to drag and drop. So what will I do? For button 1, as soon as button 1 I click, it is a simple thing to write me.close. So as soon as you click the button, it has to be closed. Entire window has to be closed. That's what I am writing. We dot close. So I'm running the application. When I run the application, hello, it is all shown. When I clicked on button 2, no event is taking place. But when I clicked on button 1, automatically the form is closed. This is what for today. Since the first application got ruined a little, I have taken the second application. Anyway, with this particular class of some little introduction about the .NET, I am stopping my class. If you have any doubts, you can ask me with regarding this, and I request all of you to put on your mics. If you have any queries, you can ask. Yes, Suresh, you're talking something. I cannot hear.
నేనేం అనలేదు.
Okay. Lakshmi, I can get your point. Okay, you told to screen this, zoom the screen in full. Upma, Sajida, Gayatri, you people are trying to say something, I cannot hear it. Can you please say it louder? You are not mute, but I cannot hear you. Okay, when you have no doubts, I can say that I'm closing today with this particular session. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.